So, Chi, you're with me once again.
Yes, I'm here with you once again, Joe.
What was your opinion of the new Tomb Raider?
I thought it was moving very slow at a glacial pace. Beforehand we were watching it, we were kind of like, okay, this is kind of exciting. We're going to watch Tomb Raider. We're going to do a podcast. Afterwards, I just want to go home and crawl into bed and sleep. That's how much energy it sucked out of me.
It had what I like to call actionless action. And at one point you pointed out there was one scene that had horrorless horror. I didn't like it. I did not enjoy it one bit.
The movie just had too much. By the end, once you're done, you realize, it's a sort of the origin episode to how Lara Croft became Lara Croft, where she finally got her look with the braided ponytail and her guns at the very end.
But why do we need that setup?
I don't think they do.
Why can't we just go in? The entire world by now knows who Lara Croft is. It's like Superman. I mean, yeah, she's not as popular, but you know who Lara Croft is.
Yeah.
Here's a girl. She's a woman that's a worldwide Tomb Raider. She's,
you see her being cosplayed all the time at different conventions. She's made a pretty big mark in the video game community for the longest period. So there's no real need to go through all of that. And usually, if you're going to do an origin episode halfway through the movie, the character should have been got her look, got her equipment fully formed, and then get on an action adventure. When I was watching, I knew there was something that wasn't there. Because remember, at one point I commented and said, "Were her two pistols?"
Yeah.
And then you're wondering what happened.
I was so taken out by it. I didn't even realize the two pistols until you pointed it out. It's just it was 1 hour 59 minutes of setup. It was a good chance to have a great action adventure movie that's featuring a female lead, and it was completely wasted. The only interesting character, I don't even remember the character's name, but the actor you said, because you had to tell me his name, was Daniel Wu.
Yeah, Daniel Wu, which I'm not familiar with him before. I've never seen him before. And usually, I'll be honest, I'm very critical when seeing how a Chinese actor in American film, mainly because, they always portray a Chinese guy in a very stereotypical way, or they're very goofy. I mean, watch a lot of the Jackie Chan movies that he made in America. He was treated like a monkey that just hopped around most of the time, which is true, So, most of the time when I see them stick a Chinese guy in a movie, I go, okay, they want the Chinese audience or whatever. But the funny thing is, he is the most likable, charismatic guy in the movie, and it really just comes across. The minute he showed up on screen, there was something likable.
Yeah, he was likable.
Yeah, you kind of wish you were going on an adventure with that guy.
Yeah, but he was completely underused.
Underused.
And at points, you completely forget about him, because when they go back to him, you're like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. I completely forgot they left him outside the final act, and he should have been there along with her instead of all these other characters. No. He probably would have put a little bit more excitement into the entire film. It's kind of a missed opportunity, because there were a few parts I liked. I liked the part when she was going over the the waterfall, the cliff, and then there was that rusty plane she kind of fell into and trying to hang on. At least I thought that was fairly well designed for an action piece. And I liked the piece when they were trying to free the prisoners from the camp and they were escaping, and there was a lot more energy going on. Like, those are 2 times that were really perked up.
You mean when she's running around with the arrow? The bow and arrow?
Early on it was kind of weird, but once they started, like the Chinese guy was freed, and people started revolting, there was more gun firing, and it felt the action connect a little bit for me. And then I like a few of the little puzzle trial at the end. Well, some of it's kind of interesting. I kind of like the reveal of what they were filing at the end. I go, okay, that's kind of interesting too. They didn't go the supernatural route. So all of that was, to me, was fine. But it was just too little and takes too long to connect the dots.
Well, the odd thing was, in the beginning they set up this whole. It opens up with her fighting in a mixed martial arts
gym or something like that.
Yeah, well, I guess it would be a sparring match.
Sure.
Whatever they call those matches, and she gets her ass kicked. So if they wanted to foreshadow that she knows how to fight, they did it kind of poorly. And then every time she's in a fight in the movie, she gets her ass kicked.
Yeah, she keeps losing most of these fights. And most of the time, if you notice, they put her through the ringer. They did put the character through the ringer, but she barely gets like one or two tiny scratches. I mean, you go
Except-
through that, you'll be cut up pretty badly in
Well,
one of these scenes.
that plane scene, she should have had tetanus 100 times over. But and then
She would have shredded her hands when she grabbed onto any of the metal pieces.
When she crashed through the trees, she would have been dead.
It was just a lot of stuff that was happening. You've seen it before in other movies. And when they do it, sometimes it's like the pacing will be just a tad too long to hold your interest, and they will lose you many times. Some of the revelation comes in at very awkward moments, like when her dad showed up, because after she killed somebody, struggling, trying to break free. Usually you would have maybe her father save her, and suddenly, he's there. But instead, she took the guy out, and she kind of looked off in the distance, and there was some shadowy figure at night, and then run off. And then she follows her father. You're like, some of these pacing takes too long to do a revelation of some type.
Yeah, it was weird. That was the scene where I was saying I thought she was following Luke into the Jedi Temple.
It kind of looked like that, too.
It looked like that.
Yeah, because they have their father with the hair and the beard and all that. I don't know. You watched it.
I was looking forward to this, and I'm very disappointed.
It is disappointing. You go into any movie, you want to come out saying, "Oh man, I was awesome. Had a good time. It was fantastic." And that usually with Hollywood, these movies like 95 million big budget a movie, and then you deliver something that's very, very mixed. It's like they don't know if they need to be an action adventure or they try to do a heavy drama, because a lot of the scenes they start to tilt toward like a father-daughter drama scene, and not even very well written, like a TV show drama level of portraying this stuff. It's like it loses the energy of a movie where there's a momentum, it will get stopped.
I want to be entertained. I don't want to be drained.
Well, we're drained.
Yeah. It was just not what I wanted from a Tomb Raider movie.
No.
And I wasn't really a very big fan of the Angelina Jolie movies, but at least that movie just got to it. Like, here's Angelina Jolie. She's the Tomb Raider. She's got the guns. She's got the shorts. She's got everything right out of the video game. Boom, 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 and then just have her fight sharks.
I don't even remember the part where she fought sharks. I saw both of those in the theater. I mean, I saw them once back then, over 10 years ago, so my recollection is blank. But I did remember, on some level, I was having a good time in it. But you have to understand, the first Tomb Raider movie was the first movie they could clear that went into shooting without a script. They were just shooting scenes, which I think was problematic too at the time. Remember, we want to go, there wasn't much of a story.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, now with this one, I think there's too much story.
There's
I think
too much
somebody
story.
needs to be trimmed down a little.
Get to it.
Get to the point, get to the action. Because you think about Tomb Raider.
Here's your hero. Here's your villain. Here's your MacGuffin. Go.
Well, you think about Tomb Raider, because I'm not a video game guy, but you think about Tomb Raider, I see my friends play, or you go online, you see all these video clips, it's, girl with two guns running around shooting stuff, fighting monsters, fighting treasures. I mean, it's a simple concept. A lot of times in these new Hollywood movies, they try to like make these big epics with very little to go on, and movies also 2 hours. Should have been an hour and a half. Just an hour and a half, straightforward adventure, fun action movie. Should have been what it is.
Yeah, it should have been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
But instead it was like a bus ride that stops every 10 minutes, and the bus gets a flat tire, and you got to wait for the backup the bus to come to get you and take you to the end. And by that time, because the air conditioner oil went out, you want to drop dead, go home, and just go into a coma.
At one point, I almost went to a coma somewhere. Because there was a lot of stop and go in the movie. Whenever they cut to a flashback scene where they're trying to explain something, or the exposition scene, it kind of takes you out of the movie, because your brain starts to go, well, okay, you try to connect the dot from point A to point B where they put earlier, and you're like, oh yeah, there was that, maybe? Did they show that earlier? It's not executed very well. There's pacing problems.
You know how you're in a good movie with good pacing?
Yeah.
An hour will pass, or even the 2 hours will pass, and you go, what? That's the whole thing? It felt like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But in a bad movie like this one, it feels like you're back in high school in class, just waiting for the final bell to ring, and it's like every minute passes torturously, and you'll never get out because you're stuck in some kind of Twilight Zone purgatory that will never end, and that's how this movie felt to me. Just get it over. At some point, get it over with. Just
Well, I'll tell you. At one point, I did say, "Hey, how long is the movie? We're into it. You know, we've been watching for a while."
It was only 49 minutes.
Yeah, and we realized there was another hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I was kind of horrified. My God, I go, my God, you know, we got to sit through this. I don't know. Things need to be simpler. I mean, you're doing an entertainment movie based on a video game. It needs to be simple.
I don't think the actress they picked to play Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, was the optimal choice to play Lara Croft. I mean, Angelina Jolie was one of those where you kind of thought she looked exactly like Lara Croft, so you got to make a movie around her. And then they just started filming the movie, like I said before. They had everything written, but the beginning of this started, and you were like, "Is that Lara Croft?"
Oh yeah, the whole time ago, is she the lead? Because they casted this girl who really don't have the look of a leading actress. You know, she looked like the supporting actress you put in a movie, like the main girl's best friend. So it was a little baffling watching her. She was also very, very thin looking. You know, so early on you just go, you couldn't. I guess because you're so attached to the Angelina Jolie image, you're thinking somebody a little bit more built. Yeah. And she didn't come across that way. And then they remember they even wasted a whole action scene in the beginning on bicycle.
I don't understand that scene.
It didn't connect with anything later on. It wasn't like later on she needed bicycle skills to save the day.
No.
So I don't know. Oh my God, I don't know.
The best part of the movie was when it was over.
Well,
and you knew that I don't have to ever see this again, and I'm done with it. I mean, 1 out of 4 stars, I give that 1 star.
I probably give it 1.5. That's what I would give it. I don't know if they're going to do a second or third one, because it looks like the way they're setting up this movie, there's going to be sequels upon sequels or spin-offs or whatever. But, you know, it didn't do well in the American box office, which is completely understandable. You know, you deliver something that's so slow-paced that I think has editing problem too. You know, scenes come in and out of nowhere sometimes that disrupt the flow of your action, or you know, like a lot of stuff should have got. All the exposition keeps happening throughout the movie, almost never stops. Should have been done early on and just go, and they never did that.
Yeah, it was just too much information that wasn't needed, not simple enough to just, you know, I want to turn my stupid brain off and just enjoy things.
Sure. You know, it's funny because it reminds me of when we watched Jumanji. I remember we went into that without much expectation, but at the end, that movie was so simple, straightforward, fun, similar to this. It's an action-adventure type of movie. But at the end, I go, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed how simplicity was. They didn't try to do any weird twist. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Tomb Raider?
If they put out a second one, I'm not sure if I'll go see it.
Will you be buying this on DVD?
No.
All right, that's it. Take it easy. See you next time. Goodbye.